So I wanted to go into a little bit more detail about the going vegan and the high carb thing, because for some people this is a concern that they face, where it's like when deciding if they want to go through 80-10-10 lifestyle. For those who don't know what that means, essentially that is a macronutrient breakdown. So 80% of your calories come from carbohydrates, 10% from fats, and 10% from proteins. The entire concept, it boils down to your body runs mostly on carbohydrates and glycogen and glucose. So if you eat mostly that and limit your fat and protein intake, then your body becomes very efficient at breaking down carbs, uses that as a primary source of energy for everything, and then will tap into your fat store somehow. I forget the science that they use to explain that, and eventually you would become lean just by eating more carbohydrate. For me, that didn't work out. My face was like round naturally, but I was like this for most of the time that I was high carb, even when my body itself hadn't gained as much weight. But when I became high carb, I became so obsessed with eating carbohydrates simply because I thought it would make me lose weight. And on top of that, I hadn't had sufficient carbohydrates in my diet for over a year. So my body was in such a serious state of starvation that carbohydrates were the first thing that it wanted, because it was going to use it for the energy that it never had. And so when I ate like a banana after a year, it was a year, after I ate a banana, my body was like, I want more, and I just kept eating and eating, and my body was like, please don't stop, you've starved us for so long, please just give me more. And my cells were like crying. And so I fed it, and that's how I gained 60 pounds. So I just had a conversation with someone about the idea where people just ate less and they lose weight, and I wanted to scream because I was like, no, that's not how it works. If you eat less, if you starve your body too much, because there's like a fine line of like eating less like healthfully and eating less dangerously, and if you cross that line and you reach that point of starvation, you will end up like me and have to take over a year to restabilize your weight, gain a bunch of weight first, then lose it the healthy way, and then be able to maintain it. And I don't really have that much time on my hands, and I had to go through a lot of like sad days and like crying fits, and like days where I walked into the gym and walked out because I saw myself in the mirror, and I don't want that on anyone. So if this can be done in a more healthy, sustainable way, then I would definitely argue for that. So I did the high carb thing, and when I became more of like a balanced vegan, I'm still high carb to this day in the sense that I eat more carbohydrates than most people would consider to be their way of going about it. So in that, I modified the high carb approach to fit my needs. So instead of, I eat 2,500 calories a day on average, and currently I am now 5'3", and I oscillate between 125 and 130 pounds. I have been weightlifting seriously consistently since I was 20, and I'm 22 and a half, so probably like 2.5 years. And I went from doing one muscle part a day to now I do like legs 3 days a week and upper body 2 to 3 days a week based on my schedule. And the division just like changes every week based on my mood and like preference of that day. Like if I feel like having a really muscular back, if I want to see my shoulders pop more. My upper body builds so much more easily than my lower body that like I kind of take it for granted and just train what I feel like. But I train at least one, like every part of my upper body is trained a minimum of one. So like I'm on the right track. Lower body, I have decided to take more seriously, do 2 to 3 days a week. One day focusing on squats and some accessory movements, one day focusing on deadlifts and then some accessory movements, and then one day focusing on more plyo moves, more heart rate, like speeding up type of stuff, like jumping squats, jumping lunges, split squats, stuff like that. So it's a good balance. I like it. I like my split a lot in that sense because it all revolves around my lower body, but I've gained a lot more muscle than when I was just running. And now my cardio is just like walking around the city because I live in New York City most of the time. And it worked well in that I get away with eating 2,500 calories as like a 5'3" individual, and my weight doesn't change. It stays the same. Even though I do want to lose like 5% of my body fat if I could, and like see a little bit more definition of my body. As of now, I'm pretty happy with the fact that I can eat. Some days I eat like 3,000 calories and my weight doesn't go up. So if I'm like more active that day, then I'll eat like that extra 500 and like not think about it until the next morning when I'm like looking at my app and it's like, maybe you didn't need that extra cookie. Basically, after 2.5 years of consistent weightlifting, of eating enough and letting my body lose the weight from 160 to whatever I am now on a more controlled basis, I am able to sustain this a lot more easily. And the only issue I have now is maybe over exercising, but that's just because I like it so much that I end up just wanting to spend more time in the gym. And it's like, oh wait, I really like the shoulder exercise, can I do it? It's like I'm a gym nerd, if that makes any sense. So now I go into the gym and I try and set a timer on my phone for 60 minutes, and I need to be done within those 60 minutes. And if I'm not, then it's like, I'm sorry, but you have to move on in life and like do your work, finish applications, like finish emails, and like get out. So I do that, and it's helped me maintain a more balance, bigger balance. If I'm working out with like friends and like my hangout time with my friends is in the gym, then I'll spend longer there because I'm like seeing them and getting a workout in. So I feel like that's a good way to go about it. If I'm going by myself, then I won't spend too long there because I'm afraid of going back into that mindset of high school where I'm constantly like thinking only about the gym and only about losing weight and only about fat loss, and I can't afford to go through that again, because if I do that now, then I will lose everything that I have, basically, because your life becomes like tunnel focus. That's not a bad thing. Being focused on something, being driven about something isn't bad, but if it messes with your health, your relationships, mental, physical, emotional well-being, then I don't know if it's really worth it in the end, because what do you have left afterwards? And yeah, so I do promote high carb vegan eating. I just promote it in a more healthful, holistic way, and not what I was doing, which is eating bowls of bananas and dates and rice only, and like not eating anything else. So now I eat like beans consistently, or tofu. I'll have more vegan cookies which have like fat in them. Cliff bars are like devil's candy to me. I love them so much. Like the biggest dietary fallback of mine now is I just rely on processed foods a lot because I'm in a hurry a lot, so I don't take the time to cook. So I'll eat a Cliff bar instead of making oatmeal or something like that. But at least I'm like eating enough and I'm not starving. As this like rebound can tell you, like on my face, I'm not starving, I promise. So making sure that I'm not only focused on the gym in my life is a priority. Secondly, another priority of mine is trying to promote this lifestyle within my community, which is one of my communities, and that is the South Asian, let's call it the South Asian communities, where meats, oils, nuts, like all of these things are hounded on so much as the best way to eat. Like if you're not eating chicken every day, you will not be healthy, and nonsense like that. I mean, it's up to every individual what they eat and what they don't eat. Some people have such terrible food allergies they can't afford to like not eat meat and stuff like that, and I get that. Like that makes sense. Like if you're not vegan, then like it doesn't matter to me. It's up to you what you want to do with your life. All I'm saying is that it should be open. It's like it should be open-minded both ways, where like if I'm vegan, I shouldn't look down on non-vegans, and if you're non-vegan, you shouldn't look down on vegans, especially if I've proven that by being vegan I'm not like unhealthy. I've reached like a maintainable, sustainable, realistic weight for me. I can lift like heavier than most girls in the South Asian community. Like if you need to lift a suitcase, like I'm your go-to girl, like I promise. It's like my household job now. It's changing that mentality, that mindset of like what foods are best for you, because I'm not like a certified nutritionist. I haven't done studies on this. I've only figured out what works for me, and what works for me is not eating meat and not eating dairy. My skin broke out so much in high school when I was underfed, had no nutrients going, and was eating Greek yogurt and chicken all the time. And it was like everywhere. I had like all these breakouts and I couldn't do anything about it. And then when I became vegan, even though I was gaining weight, all of it went away. Like all of it went, my skin was so clear. And now I mean I break out once in a while, but it's nowhere near like high school. I was like covered like head to toe, like head to toe. Can you imagine like being head to toe? Oh my god, that would suck. I'm so sorry if that's happened to you. But and that went away, and that worked for me. And if I eat dairy, then it screws me over. If I don't eat dairy, then I'm good. So I'm not going to eat dairy. And if you want me to eat like yogurt and you're trying to convince me it has probiotics in it, then I will go and pay the $25 for the probiotic pill that is like more convenient than buying a tub of yogurt that'll make me break out. So no, I'm not going to do it. I've already proven to most people that I will be able to build muscle as a vegan because of the fact that I have a pretty good amount of muscle on my body. My size, because I'm not gonna like undress in front of the camera right now. Sorry. If you want to have more proof of that, my Instagram and my other YouTube videos can like provide that, because I'm not weak by any means. I'm not a powerlifter level person either. I'm like a good medium, and maybe I'll do that sometime in my life. I don't know. Maybe I'll become strong enough. Right now, I just want to be able to deadlift 155 for 5. So once I can do that, we'll see how that goes. But I can lift now. I can live now. I wake up, and even though I want to go back to sleep, I can get up without hating the world. I can go to the gym and have a really good workout that I feel good about after, instead of like collapsing every single time because I don't have any energy in me. And I guess the only thing is that I still get those comments when people see like prom pictures of me, like, you were so pretty when you were so thin, like that picture of you in the green dress, how come you don't look like that anymore? Even like now I still get those comments, and it hurts a lot, because you think that after going through all of that, like, you wouldn't be the only one who like sees that. Like, I see that I've made all this progress, like mentally, physically, emotionally. I'm still like an emotional wreck, and like I cry during every movie, like I have mental breakdowns if my computer breaks down. Like, I'm not an easy person to like get along with by any means, but like I was worse before, because if like a restaurant didn't have boiled chicken before, I would be sobbing. Like, it was really bad. And I see all of these things, but all I hear is when I go to these events, and that's why I hate going to these events, just because it's like traumatizing to me. It's like I can't. It's PTSD. I can't. But maybe if you just lost like a little bit more weight, or maybe if your face is just a little thinner. Have you tried using bronzer? Like, it'll like just suck your cheeks right in. Nonsense. I've heard all of these things before. I'm not making this up, and it's so annoying. And then the worst one is, don't lift. You'll be very bulky. I want to punch someone in the face when I hear that, because weightlifting is what has made me look smaller. Like, at 120 pounds, I looked bigger than I do now at 125 to 130, because I have all that muscle. Most of that weight is just like the muscle I've built on my arms, my back, my legs, everywhere. So I'm happy I've built that muscle, because I can eat more. Like, I'm sorry, you may be a little thinner than I am, but can you get away with eating 2,500 calories? Like, if you don't want to weight train, don't weight train, but don't tell me that you want to eat more and like the bulky thing, because I've proven that like you can't say that to me anymore. As far as weight training goes, I now have made it my mission to teach other people about it, because I'm so passionate about it. I love it. I've researched it a lot. I'm getting my certification right now. I'm taking a 300-hour course in personal training. It's really fun. I want to teach people that you can't do spot reducing. I'm not telling you can like build muscle on your legs and your leg will be skinnier. I'm saying you can shape your body in the way that you like, in a smart, scientific way. That's what I want to do. And I have people, like, I do train people, and I accept emails to this email address, where you can email me and let me know if you want to do personal training with me. For like right now, it's like a talking video, but for more stuff on how I train, or like my approach to fitness and workout splits, I mentioned my workout split, but I have more about it on Instagram and stuff. And I don't have a very huge Instagram following or any type of social media following, but I like what I do, and I want other people to understand how much it can benefit them. And the biggest things that I think have contributed to like my mental well-being now are weightlifting and a more balanced approach to eating, and it's helped me a lot. in terms of weightlifting, I think any girl can do it and they won't look bulky. You don't have the testosterone necessary to look bulky. Like, I can't really look bulky unless I take tons and tons of pre-workout, and I don't do that anymore. So there's a way to look feminine and to lift weights, and you can shape your body the way you want. It's just about approaching it the right way. I can help you do that if you want, or go ahead and do it yourself and like have fun with the testing, the trial and error, because I had fun with it too. So that's all. That's my story. I'll see you guys later. Bye.